It just feels like our chemistry's better. It just feels like everything flows a little bit better. It just like feels better. I think as a basketball player, like it's something you can feel when you're out there.
For me, I'm always on the next shot, whatever that is. Next play mentality, and I think my number was called in that transition play.
You know, it's cool. Obviously, there's been a lot of really good players that put on this jersey, and, you know, to be up there with some of them, it's special.
28 points. That's what Caitlin Clark just dropped on the Dallas Wings. But here's the kicker. It's not just about the points. Clark's rookie season is turning into something straight out of a movie. You're about to see why this game wasn't just a win, it was a turning point for the entire WNBA. Let's talk numbers for a second. The Indiana Fever just broke the 500 mark for the first time since 2016. That's not just a stat, it's a sign. Clark isn't just playing ball, she's breathing new life into a franchise that's been gasping for air. You might be wondering, what makes this rookie so special? Well, Clark isn't just playing the game, she's changing it. And here's the thing, other WNBA teams should be worried. Really worried. Because what you're about to see isn't just a hot streak, it's the start of something big, something that could shake up the entire league. Clark's making waves, but she's not the only story in Indiana. There's a duo forming that's about to flip the WNBA on its head. What happens when you pair up two guards who can both torch the net? It's a puzzle that's giving opposing coaches nightmares. Enter Kelsey Mitchell, the veteran scorer who's found her perfect partner in crime. Together, Clark and Mitchell just dropped a combined 61 points on the Dallas Wings.
It's going to be a really fast-paced game.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Fever get the ball up the floor in like 2 seconds.
How about Alyssa Thomas, the former Baylor Bear? Three-pointer made. Every field goal made, it's been three, and Clark gets her first field goal of the afternoon.
For Coach Sides and this team.
Clark comes back and answers.
I saw the adjustment just now.
That's not just a stat, it's a statement. These two aren't just playing basketball, they're redefining it. You might be thinking, sure they can score, but what does that really mean for the Fever? Well, let me tell you, it's changing everything. Clark herself said it best. When you have two guards and both making plays, it puts other teams in tough positions of what to take away. That's not just strategy, that's a whole new game plan. Here's where it gets really interesting. This dynamic duo isn't just about putting points on the board. They're creating a new identity for the Indiana Fever, an identity built on explosive offense and teamwork.
Clark from way downtown parries it.
Well, the last time she was here, she had 19 assists, which broke a WNBA record. Now, this is a lefty using that left hand, and yeah, that's going to be a highlight reel. Which right now the Wings are dominating in free throws.
Clark knocks down her second three of the ball game.
If you have shooters on the weak side.
Oh, great play, and it ends up in Caitlin Clark getting her 19th point.
It's like watching a magic trick. You know something incredible is happening, but you can't quite figure out how they're doing it. And get this, Clark isn't just confident, she's talking championship. As a rookie, let that sink in for a second. She's not here to participate, she's here to dominate. I think we have the tools around us to do it, Clark said. That's not rookie talk, that's leader talk. Now, you might be wondering, how are they making this work? It's simple. They're playing fast, they're playing smart, and they're keeping defenses guessing. 1 minute, it's Clark draining threes. The next, it's Mitchell slicing through the lane. It's basketball chess, and the Fever are calling checkmate. But here's the real kicker. This is just the beginning. Clark and Mitchell are still figuring each other out, still learning each other's moves. And they're already causing havoc. Imagine what they'll be like when they're fully in sync. It's enough to make any WNBA coach lose sleep. But Clark isn't just causing sleepless nights, she's rewriting the record books. Remember that game against the Wings? It wasn't just a loss. It was the night a rookie did something no WNBA player had ever done before. The question is, was it a fluke or a sign of things to come? Let's talk numbers, because what Clark just did is nothing short of mind-blowing. 19 assists in a single game. That's not just good, that's historic. Clark didn't just break the WNBA record, she shattered it. The previous record? 18 assists, held by Courtney Vandersloot. And the rookie record, 16 assists, set by Ticha Penicheiro. Clark left both those marks in the dust. But here's the kicker. Clark didn't just dish out assists, she dropped 24 points too. On a night when her three-point shot wasn't falling, She found other ways to dominate. That's what separates the good players from the great ones. You might be thinking, sure, but they lost the game. And you're right, but that's not the whole story. Clark's performance wasn't just about one game. It was about setting a new standard. It was about showing the entire WNBA what's possible. And if you think that was impressive, wait till you hear this. Clark just became the first rookie and 9th player in WNBA history to rack up over 400 points and 200 assists in a single season. Let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about a good rookie season. We're talking about one of the best seasons by any player, ever. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark isn't just putting up numbers. She's changing the game. Her 213 assists for the season, that's the second most by a rookie in WNBA history. She's just 12 assists shy of breaking Ticha Penicheiro's rookie record of 225, set back in 1998. Now you might be wondering, is Clark perfect? Of course not, she's human. After that record-breaking game, Clark pointed out her own mistakes. She said, "The late turnover, that one kills for sure." That's not just honesty, that's leadership. That's a rookie who understands that greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about constantly striving to be better. So, what does all this mean for the WNBA? It means the game is changing, fast. Clark isn't just breaking records. She's setting a new standard for what rookies can achieve. She's forcing teams to rethink their strategies, their expectations, and maybe even their entire approach to the game. The Indiana Fever are sitting in 7th place, but don't let that number fool you. There's a hidden story behind their standing that's got every team in the league on high alert. What does Indiana know that the rest of the WNBA doesn't? Let's break it down. The Fever aren't just in the playoff picture, they're rewriting it. After a rocky 1-8 start, they've turned things around in a big way, going 10-7 leading into the Olympic break. That's not just improvement, that's a complete transformation. But here's where it gets real. The Fever aren't just winning games, they're winning fans. Sellout crowds, increased engagement. The Clark effect is real. One fan put it perfectly. Caitlin Clark made the WNBA more popular. It's not just about what's happening on the court, it's about what's happening in the stands. Now, you might be thinking, sure, but can they keep this up? Well, that's where things get interesting. Clark's looking forward to the Olympic break, saying, "I think it'll be really good for myself and my body." This isn't just a rookie talking about rest. It's a star player recognizing the grind and planning for the long game. And speaking of the long game, the Fever's got a crucial matchup against the Phoenix Mercury coming up after the break. This isn't just another game. It's a chance to prove that their turnaround is the real deal. But here's the kicker. It's not just about Clark. Coach Christy Side sees something special brewing. She said she has the ability and her vision to see things, and we're just getting better and better as we play with her. That's not just praise. That's a coach seeing her team evolve in real time. So what does all this mean for the Fever? It means they're not just playing for this season, they're playing for the future. Clark's rookie year isn't just about personal achievements. It's about potentially transforming an entire franchise. Think about it. A team that was struggling to stay relevant is now the talk of the league. They're not just winning games, they're changing expectations. And that 7th place standing, it's starting to look more like a launching pad than a final destination. But here's the real question. Can Clark and the Fever keep this momentum going? The physical demands of a rookie season are no joke. The Olympic break comes at a perfect time, giving Clark a chance to recharge. But what happens when they hit the court again? That's the beauty of this story. It's still being written. Every game is a new chapter, every play a potential game changer. And with Clark at the helm, the Fever aren't just playing basketball. They're redefining what's possible for a rookie, for a team, and for the entire WNBA. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's rewriting the WNBA playbook. With an average of 17.1 points and 8.2 assists per game, she's not just leading rookies, she's leading the entire league in assists. That's not normal rookie behavior. But here's the real game changer. Clark's impact goes beyond the stats. She's breathing new life into the Indiana Fever and sparking conversations about a potential boom in women's sports. Some are even comparing her influence to that of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird in the NBA. Clark's rookie season isn't just about personal achievements. It's about raising the bar for what's possible in women's basketball. With 213 assists already under her belt, she's on track to make history. And if this is just the beginning, Imagine what's next. Clark isn't just changing the fever. She's reshaping the entire landscape of women's basketball.